On the 15th of July 2019, tragedy struck at Kankaria Lake's Balvatika Amusement Park in Ahmedabad, India, after 31 people boarded the now infamous Discovery Joyride. During what began as a festive day at the park, a harrowing incident unfolded partway through the ride, leading to devastating, deadly consequences, which were caught on camera. The events of that day underscored significant concerns about safety protocols and maintenance practices within India's amusement park industry. This prompted a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident, but what exactly happened that day? Let's talk about it. This is the infamous Discovery disaster. Kankaria Lake's Balvatika Amusement Park, located in Ahmedabad, India, is a significant spot in the area due to its rich history. Kankaria Lake itself dates back to 1451 and has since been an important cultural and social hub for the city. The amusement park, established alongside the lake, has long been a favourite spot for families and children, offering a range of attractions and entertainment. Although most of the rides in the park are smaller and cater to children, it does have a few extreme rides for the adults. One of these rides was the Discovery Joyride, created by Superstar Amusement Limited. The Discovery was known as a frisbee or pendulum ride. A pendulum ride is a ride featuring a large rotating disc on which riders are seated facing outwards. As the disc swings back and forth like a pendulum, it also spins, creating a combination of swinging and rotating motions. Riders experience significant heights and speeds. The ride also incorporates a counterweight system on the opposite end of the arm to balance the weight of the platform and riders, ensuring smooth and controlled swings. The counterweight and arm design are crucial for maintaining the stability and safety of the ride. However, much like many of the rides in India, the Discovery was a copy. Amusement parks in India often face criticism for being unsafe and poorly maintained due to a combination of factors. These include inadequate regulatory oversight, insufficient maintenance practices, and lack of staff training. Many parks fail to adhere to international safety standards, resulting in equipment malfunctions and accidents. Regular inspections are often neglected, and safety protocols are not consistently enforced. A professional ride manufacturer in India said, "India has a long-standing problem which allows the use of inferior, unauthorized copies of rides made by either local companies or rides sourced from other companies, often with fatal results. Counterfeit copies may be less expensive, however, such products are a risk to the public as there are no similar levels of safety built into the design, fabrication, and testing." The month before, the park had an incident with their Ferris wheel which left 40 people stuck after it had broken down. However, nothing could have prepared themselves for what would take place on the 15th of July, 2019. During July, India celebrates Jaya Parvati, a festival where they worship the god Parvati, so on that Sunday, the park was busier than usual. Like any other day, the park was running as per normal until around 5 PM, when 31 people boarded the Discovery ride. After safety restraints were checked and given the okay, the ride started up and began to swing. It began with small swings before getting higher and higher. When the ride was at approximately 20 feet in the air, the pendulum suddenly snapped, causing the arm to straighten out before completely disconnecting and smashing towards the ground. It was caught on camera by horrified eyewitnesses who told officials that the arm suddenly broke off mid-swing. The locals couldn't quite believe what they had just seen and didn't grasp the situation until a few seconds after it had happened. The riders, who had been thrown to the ground, were still trapped in their seats, agonisingly waiting for rescue. Witnesses rushed to the scene and called emergency services, which arrived in minutes. Their first job was to release each rider from their seat, which was tricky due to the restraints being distorted by the fall. Disturbing images were released of blood on the seats after the people were rescued. Tragically, 2 people died on the scene. These were 24-year-old Manali Rajwadi and 22-year-old Mohammad Javed. The rest of the injured, when rescued from their seats, were transported to the nearby LG hospital for treatment. 15 of them were badly injured. The park was then closed down and an investigation was launched. After the incident, Managing Director Ghanshyam Patel said, "The ride broke, but we cannot say how. There are 2 very strong 20-ton load-bearing ropes inside, and we don't know how they have snapped. Maybe there was a load on the pipe and it broke." Although the theme park claimed not to know, it didn't take long for investigators to figure out what happened. Officials released a statement saying, "The total height of the ride is 66 feet. The ride fell from a height of approximately 30 feet mid-swing. The broken cables will need to be examined to know how the ride broke. There are doubts on the maintenance of the ride as well." Shortly into their investigation, they found two scenarios that had happened. The first was that one of the load-bearing cables had snapped, meaning the weight of the pendulum would have been too heavy without it, causing it to fall. The second was that the nuts holding the ride together were weakened and loose. It was likely that both of these contributed to the collapse. Documents obtained by the Indian Express reveal that Superstar Amusement, the company owning the park, submitted a monthly inspection report on July the 6th, which included a note stating, "Nut bolt replace." This was never done. The chief fire officer also blamed the cable, saying, "The ride works when the main shaft with seats at the circular end is counterbalanced by a weight. When the cable snapped, the welding along the shaft came off and the carriage also fell. Neglect of the ride was ultimately blamed." After the incident, Indian police officials released a first information report against 6 men. A first information report is a written document created by the police in India when they receive information about a serious crime that has been committed. These men were Superstar Amusement's managing director Ghanshyam Patel, his son Bhavesh Patel, manager Rajesh Chowsky, ride operators Jash Patel and Kishan Montani, and park worker Manish Vagela. Following this, Inspector Patel said, "An inquiry is going on and we will soon arrest those named in the first information report." Chief Minister Vijay Rupani said, "I have also asked the authorities to conduct safety checks and only then allow such rides to operate in the state." To calm down the angry general public, the Chief Minister made sure to let everyone know how seriously he was taking this case, saying, "Strictest actions will be taken against the offenders so that such incidents don't happen again. In this case, the managers and the others have been detained. Inspections should be conducted from time to time. While arrests will be made in this case, in light of this incident, the state government shall take appropriate measures and stock of the situation." In the end, the men were charged with culpable homicide. Culpable homicide is the act of causing someone's death through a wrongful or negligent act without lawful justification and carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in India. New inspection and safety laws were implemented to make sure something like this would not happen again in the future. Ultimately, 2 lives were lost that day. Manali Rajwadi was an inspiring nurse and was also known for being a lovely person who would help anybody. Her father said to local media, "My daughter was staying over in Ahmedabad at my sister's place and they visited the theme park when the accident took place. It is a shock for us to lose our daughter in such a manner. She was a fun-loving and ever-smiling happy girl. This accident is a reminder that parks like these should not be handed over to irresponsible managers." I couldn't find any information on Mohammad Javed. May these two rest in peace, and I hope that the others who were injured are doing better today. As always, this is not an AI channel, I do everything myself, and if you appreciate my work, subscribe, and if you want to go the extra step to support the channel, maybe consider becoming a member. It is shocking that these kind of accidents are still happening in 2019 due to outright neglect. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.